Hello and welcome to another episode of Bum with a Wrench. I'm your host Daniel, and on today's episode, we're going to be working on the owner's brand new Escalade. And I don't know about you guys, but I know there's a lot of GM guys out there that think that these things are, every GM vehicle is the best. Hey, everything's got its issues. And one thing I have learned about GM over the years is they have the worst body panels on the inside. When they went to this plastic junk, the clips that hold in, I remember working on a it was like a 99 1500. It was one of the first crew cabs. And we're putting speakers in this thing, and we take the door panels off to change the speakers. And go to put the door panels back on, that thing rattled, and it just never quit. And it was just from taking those stupid push pins out and then, trying to put them back on. They were like a one-time use thing. You took them off, you had to replace all of them and stick them back on, This thing, brand new Escalade, has a plastic clip up here on the ceiling where the third row shoulder harness comes down. And it's got like this sandwiched plastic piece. There's one piece on the top side of the headliner and then the other piece on the bottom side of the headliner. It has to like hook in on the back, and then it's got like a little peg in the front that it hooks into, and that peg is supposed to clip somehow. I don't know. So luckily, they split the headliner in this car into a couple sections. Looks like maybe two. So at least I don't have to deal with the gigantic front section with the panoramic sunroof thing. All I got to do is just drop this back part here. Now, normally you would just change a part like this, but in order to change that part, I actually have to replace the entire seat belt, which I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip the two pieces. I'm going to drop the headliner so that I can get to the back side of it, grab the back side of it, hold it still, clip the front side in with the two little clips that it kind of just lips into it, and then the front side pushes up and clips in. When I push that peg up in the front and clip it through, it's supposed to go through there, and it does. I'm going to try and slip like I think I'm going to try and get an E-clip on there, which, in case you're not familiar, an E-clip is a lot like a C-clip, except for it's got little teeth. So tooth at the top, tooth at the bottom, tooth in the middle. It looks like an E. That's why they call it an E-clip. I'm going to try and stick that on there. You just press it in. It's all plastic, so the little teeth will just grab the plastic. And then to keep it from coming out, I think what I'm going to do is just drop a stainless screw through that peg that that comes down, just long enough to where the threads will go down and push out where that E-clip is. That way it gets a nice bite on it. And then after that, then I can push the headliner back up into the car, put all the panels back on the way they're supposed to be, which doesn't look too bad. It looks like I got to take the A, B, C, D pillar, these caps out right here, probably drop this weather stripping here, pop the place where the two headliners actually meet up, and then just kind of lower that down. I don't need to take it completely out of the car. I just need to lower it down to where I can get my hand up in there to grab that upper piece of plastic. Let me get you over here and in the car so you can see. Hopefully it's bright enough to where you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That's the piece of the headliner right there, and you can see the plastic piece is missing. You can see the plastic piece that's up in there. And then the other piece is down there on the seat. So I think I'm going to start by taking this thing out, unclip that third belt from the clip down here and let it retract up to the ceiling, and then lay these seats down, pull what I call these the D pillars. You just count A, B, C, D. That's how you do pillars. And then drop these, which I hope this comes in. This this part right here, you can see that's like a different texture with cut lines. So odds are this comes out separate, and then that'll allow me to drop this headliner down. It's cut right behind that light right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a seam there. So these are two different sections. So that's what a bum's got going on today. Working on brand new Escalade. Remember, this show is about my day-to-day job, and it's not always about, you know, rare classic cars and what in the heck, you know? That's what I'm talking about. You know, what? So, yeah. You know, why isn't that not working now? I mean, you gotta have a degree in, you know, puzzles. But let me get this headliner dropped down, and then I'll get you guys back in here and kind of show you how that little plastic piece right there, how it attaches to the headliner. You can see it hanging down. All right, I've got the headliner on this thing dropped down, which was an absolute bear, I got to tell you. I think it was a competition to see how much just stupid stuff we could put. Speakers, but then you attach the speaker with a Christmas tree push pin, but it's a zip tie to hold the speaker wire. How do you release it without destroying the push pin? You can't. So the Christmas tree destroys. But I have a whole box full of them. So if you were to do it home in your garage trying to do this, you're going to end up with a rattling speaker wire. That's going to suck. Why they didn't make some kind of releasable clip, I don't know. Stop using Christmas trees, too. They're one-time use. You push them up into metal, they deform and stop. Just stop. There's no, that's a horrible design, you know. You know, these clips right here aren't too bad. It's got a little plastic piece on the inside that grabs it, a little female piece, and you got the male piece down here on the headliner, and they just clip. And then if you need to unplug it, you just pull down on it, it comes undone. Stop using Christmas trees. Stupid manufacturers. So, luckily I have Christmas trees. I have those Christmas tree zip ties. You can buy all that stuff on Amazon, by the way. You know, if you get into a job like this and you need that stupid, don't go to the dealer, you know. do the next day delivery at Amazon. So I got the thing mounted back up. I didn't want to fight on camera with that stupid thing. So basically what it was is the little locating tabs that I thought were locating tabs are actually, that's how it clipped in. That little peg in the center, that was the locating one. So this is absolute garbage design. One of them, completely broke off because when the piece fell, of course the kids in the back, they're just playing with it like it's a loose tooth. So this thing, one of them completely gone. The other one was about half strength. Maybe it didn't get bent quite as much. I don't know. But what I did is I clipped it back together, sandwiched it back together. These little clips pop through, and you can see they've got like a little curvature to them, and then they've got a little tooth right there. That curvature is what's supposed to put the pressure on that tooth to keep it from popping back out. Horrible design. The one that's still in there, I put it in, and then on the back side right here, I just put a stainless steel little short stubby button head screw in the top of it. So that's going to hold that tooth in. But like I said, that tooth is only about, half strong. So, well, less than that now because it's missing a tooth. But it should be fine as long as the kids don't pull on it with their fingers or something, which it's definitely going to break. But I got no other way to fix it. There's no other way. I would have to try and epoxy resin, some kind of peg or pole or something to the front of it so that I could fish it up through to that inner piece and then try and epoxy resin or something. I don't know, the two together. So if it breaks again, I don't know. I'll have to try and figure it out, I guess. But for now, it's on there. It's pretty tight. It's not going anywhere. So as long as they don't pick and pull on it, it should be fine. Which they're going to pick and pull on it because, that's what kids do. The best thing to do with kids is don't tell them to not do something. And then they should leave it alone, hopefully. So I got to get this thing back up in. Of course, there's Christmas trees everywhere. Let's put a gigantic Christmas tree at the front of the headliner that lips underneath of the forward part of the headliner. For what reason, I don't know. Other than in case it wants to slip backwards. What the hell? Why would it do? So yeah, I got a destroyed Christmas tree, of course. Look at that. Nice destroyed Christmas tree. I don't have any of these big ones. I don't care. It'll go back in. Hopefully it won't rattle. So let me get this thing back in. I got to get the headliner up, put these stupid Christmas trees back in. I'll probably end up clipping the back of it, then putting the 7mm or 6mm. I don't know what these are. Some just oddball size. 7. Let's not do 8 that everybody knows. Let's do 7. Let's be different. Yeah. Thanks. I'll put those back in after I get this clip. So I'll get it up, get the Christmas trees in the front done, that lip underneath the forward part of the headliner. I'll clip that forward part of the headliner back up. I'll come back here to the back, clip this back up. That's got the light and the clips here on the end. That'll clip all back up into shape. There's no clips down the side of it, so that's good. Looks like there's not any clips up there by that seat belt piece. Now, in order to work on this, I zip tied the seat belt here to the back so that it wouldn't just up into the ceiling like it would. And then once I get all that back up, then I can put the speakers back into the pillars and then put the bungee cord, screw that back on, and then clip those back in. Then I can pull the weather strip back down and lip it back underneath everything and make it to where it's right. If you're ever doing a job like this and you have weather strip, 2 things. One, if it's a big job, you're going to be in and out, you're going to have a lot of tools, heavy items, that kind of stuff, remove it completely. If you don't want to remove it completely, like I really didn't need to, then stick it back up. 2 reasons. One, it's got like a little little C-clip clampy area that holds on to the pinch weld on the vehicle. If you crush that or deform that, it's not going to sit right. And then two, if you're going in and out with big items, that kind of stuff, you could rip and tear this, and then you'd have to go buy another one. So it's always good practice to either put it back up so that you don't damage it, or take it out completely if you're going to be doing lots of big work. This was just kind of quick and short, you know. So yeah, something to think about. Anyways, let me get this headliner back up, and we'll see how this stupid thing looks. So, all right, hang on, I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, we're finally done with this thing. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty short because I don't record a lot of it because I don't know if you want to hear me cussing, screaming, throwing tools. I hate working on new cars. They are such a pain. I mean, I don't know what these new generation of engineers think with all this plastic junk. Just the clips and they're like, all of them are one-time use. Even the one that I was saying back here in the back, that was, you know, that was better. It even had a problem. One of the little ears that when you pushed up and it was supposed to clip, one of the little ears got bent down, so as you pushed it up, it wouldn't do anything. So I had to remove the part from the inside of the car, inspect it, bend that little ear back out, stick it back in, and then it would clip and go back in. Just, it's junk. It really is what it is. And these cars are so expensive, you know, to have that much just garbage. Where, I mean, come on. If you're going to do a plastic clip up on the roof like that, a trim piece, make it to where it's not going to just fall off. You know, how about that? That's probably a good idea, you know, but no. That's what I'm saying. I've worked on Ford, GM, Chrysler, Toyota, Lexus. I've worked on all of them. GM is some of the worst when it comes to how the body panels just clip together. They're rattle boxes. And the thing is, the owner of this one, he hates rattles, so I got to make sure when it goes back together, there's no rattles. So what I do is I use that cloth tape that I was showing you guys when I was doing the wiring harness. I use that cloth tape, and anything where I think a plastic clip is going to clip into metal or something's going to rattle somewhere, I'll put a little piece of that cloth tape on there. And then you can take the clip out of, you know, so if it's like a two-part clip like the one here in the back I showed you, it was a plastic part up in the car and then another plastic part that went up inside of it. If you're worried about that rattling, take the plastic part out of the car, put a little bit of that tape on the metal part, clip that plastic part back in. Now it's got an isolator between the metal and that clip, and then clip the clip back in. If you're worried about the two clips, you know, rattling against each other, put a little bit of tape on the base of the male part and then stick that up in there so that it's got a little cushion, something to ride on. Always watch your wires. You know, even in the back on these stupid speakers with the Christmas tree zip tie, it's holding the wire, you know, up to the speaker, but where the wire loops and runs into the car, be mindful of that. And if it looks like it's going to rattle somewhere, put a little bit of that tape. You know, I'll use a whole roll of tape when I'm working on a car, but in the end, there's no rattles and stuff. Well, at least any that I can prevent from happening. So, got the seatbelt is wound up into the headliner now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip it back. We'll clip it back into the seat down here on the other side there, and then you know, put the booster seat back in the back of the car. And that'll be it for this job. Hopefully that plastic trim piece stays up there. You know, I don't know. It'll all depend on if the kids decide to see how strong it is and use it as a jungle gym or something. But if it breaks again, I don't know. I'll have to see what I can do. Maybe I can, because you can, the funny part is I can take that plastic piece away from the seat belt. And from what I understand, the only way you can actually get that plastic piece is to buy the seat belt. Maybe I can find one online. Maybe there's a wrecking yard or something that has one that's in good shape that I could repurpose. Really, if I had another one that had 2 of those ears that were in pretty good shape, I could clip it together and then put 2 little button head screws to hold those ears in place, and then the thing would never come out. And then if a mechanic got in there and he needed to actually remove it, which again, you can get the seatbelt through there without taking that piece off the headliner. So why they made that thing so flimsy to come apart, I don't know. But if a mechanic needed to get in there and actually take that piece off for whatever reason, all you'd have to do is just unscrew those 2 little button screws and then pop it apart, and it would come apart just fine. Why GM just didn't make 2 little screws that hold it together, I don't know. But it's there now. Hopefully it lasts. You know, I don't know if there's much I can really teach you guys on this thing. So new cars are just a pain. I love the old cars. They can be a pain too, but at least there's an understanding of why, you know, this piece bolts to that piece, and you don't have these stupid little plastic, you know, tongue-shaped clips. I think it makes no sense. But that's where we're at. So let me get this thing buttoned up. I'm gonna set the tire pressures for the owner because it's getting a little cold out here, and the tire pressures are a little bit low. And then I'll go put some gas in this thing and take it back to his house. So, all right, guys, I hope you're having a good day, and until next time. Oh, don't forget, please help me out. Like and subscribe, like and follow, like and, you know, share the video. Tell your buddy, hey, you know, he was struggling with an Escalade. You know, maybe there's a guy you know that has the same problem with an Escalade. You know, I didn't really do too much to tell you how I fixed it, but you know, I showed you what I could. But anyways, like and subscribe. Until next time, guys.